Hey guys, I wanted to thank you so much for tuning in, and I wanted to go over our monthly market update for the April market. So I'm going to be looking at two screens here, kind of doing a shakedown, show you some statistics, and also go over what I anticipate happening in this real estate market, because I think we're on the breach of change. Or the border of change. So essentially, the single family housing market has continued to stay very, very strong. There's several things that we have been seeing in this market. We've seen in March, we saw a 20% decrease in single family listings compared to last year. We saw pending sales drop 35, almost 36%. And closed sales also decreased by almost 9%. I think some of that was inventory driven because there wasn't any homes to sell, so you can't have closed sales. The time that homes spent on the market, which again, going back to not having closed sales, dropped 50% from an average of 40 days down to 20 days. And the median sales price increased 12.1% from about $704,000, just a little bit more than that, to $790,000. Sellers received almost 102% of their list price, which was an increase by last year by almost 1.5%. And inventory of homes for sale fell almost 16%. So the single family market has seen a drop in their overall inventory. Now, we have some things that could potentially change that in this upcoming market, and that has to do with interest rates. I have been watching that lower market where homes might need a little bit of work or are not in as prime of an area soften a little bit, and I have been seeing price reductions. Now, some of these homes that I've been watching price reductions on were overpriced to begin with, and that could be because of seller dictated pricing. Real estate agents are obviously consultants, but it's not our property at the end of the day, and we are not the ones who ultimately have a right to price the property. However, we can be advisors and be open and honest with our clients. But the silver lining in all of this was the months of inventory increased for the first time since October. So we went from almost less than a month to 1 full month of inventory, which is rather exciting. So if we move on to townhomes, which is next, townhomes is an entirely different beast. The pending sales dropped 30%, closed sales fell 23%. The average days on market for townhomes dropped 66%. Median sales price rose 26%. List price was up to 102.5% from 100% last year, and the inventory fell slightly as well. Months of inventory increased for the first time in more than a year by 22%, just from 0.9 to 1.1. Months of inventory. Now I'm going to show you guys something that I don't normally share with you, which shows projections going forward. And essentially what I'm looking at here is the April stats, because I think that this definitely is important. The median sales price, this shows condo, single family, and townhomes, did go up again here in April from $790,000 to $823,000. The average sales price does actually look like it's leveled off here a little bit, but as you know, it's the average price, so that can really be dictated upon the type of sales that are taking place. And this is for Gallatin County, so this is not necessarily Bozeman specific, so be aware of that. New listings, we have been seeing a sharp influx of new listings hit the market, and I've been watching this in Bozeman, Belgrade, and other areas. The new construction inventory is definitely picking up as well. The homes for sale has been steadily increasing, but that's indicative of a spring market. So you could be seeing a little bit of softening if the buyers do not come out in full force because of the increase in interest rates. I mean, let's face it, we're very, very close to 6%, depending on the mortgage broker that you're working with. We've been advising buyers to go ahead and check with their broker every single week to make sure that they're happy with their interest rate, because there's not really a way out of a contract unless we add a protection clause. If you can afford the property, if you don't like the interest rate. So you do need to be aware of that. And pending sales shot up this month for single family homes, condos, townhomes. But part of that is our inventory has picked up. And closed sales have dropped a little bit. But as you can see, in the prior 60 days, we had very, very low inventory. So of course, this is expected. If I can find anything else in here that I care about, price per square foot for condos dropped a little bit, but that's not really shocking, because it can depend on where these properties are located at and how old they are. Our inventory has shot up a little bit, but this is definitely still very low inventory, still a seller's market. And you can see our total sales of inventory for the year. So I would say moving forward, sellers do need to be aware of what the market's doing. They do need to be aware of interest rates. It's very strongly advised that you list close to the price that we suggest, because if you do push the market, you may end up finding that you get less. You may end up finding that you have to do price reductions. You really do not want your property sit on the market. I know sometimes in people's heads, they're saying, let's have our home sit on the market for a little bit. That way we can make the buyers aware of it. Your strongest offer is generally going to be one of the first offers that you get within the first week. After that, buyer interest drops just a little bit. We recently got more than $25,000 off on another property that I don't think was priced incorrectly, because it was on the market for like 2.5 weeks. So I'm definitely seeing a shift. I think it's very, very smart that you strategize what you're doing as a seller, and as a buyer, you are aggressive with your lender in terms of checking in with them. You still write very, very strong offers. Because there are a strong number of buyers out there. Just for you to be aware, 30% of our sales last year were cash buyers. I think we're definitely going to see maybe a few more cash buyers depending on the properties, because out of those financed buyers, some people just got loans because they felt like it, because money was cheap at, high 2s, low 3 interest rates. So if you have any questions about what the market's doing, maybe areas to where you can see some really good appreciation, if you're struggling in this market and you want to know about some affordable places to pick up real estate at, definitely reach out to me as well. And as always, I will do my best to protect you in the real estate market, to try and make sure that you're not buying in an area that could be negatively impacted by expanding subdivisions or new roads. I thank you guys for tuning in for your April monthly market update with Tamara Williams, and have a good day.